Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all, but I know what I've been through. Now, before we get into this video, make sure you check us out on Patreon at www.patreon.com/Hookah Anonymous _. You guys been telling us to create one for the longest, so we recently created a community where we will upload videos that we can't share on YouTube due to their guidelines. We'll also be dropping the latest to there first, behind the scenes information that you wouldn't find anywhere else on our socials. So make sure you become a member, and after you do that, head over to our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _ and follow us there. Now without further ado, let's get into what you guys came here to see. Now, I'm sure most of you may have already heard already, but if you haven't, let's just say the summer is getting worse for guys in Chicago by the day. If it's not us hearing that one of these guys lost their life, we're hearing that one of them have been arrested on some serious charges. And this situation falls no short of just that. And I think it's safe to say that OTF Boonie is not only the biggest crash out of 2025 so far, but OTF as a whole have been pretty much crumbled. Durk is currently incarcerated and fighting for his life, while basically all the OTF artists are either unalive or now in jail. OTF DD is caught up in the case with Lil Durk. I'm not too sure what it's looking like on his behalf when it comes to that, but we do know that someone is going to have to end up taking a rap for that case. Presumably it won't be Lil Durk. Now you have OTF Boonie, who was also a rapper under OTF's label and friend of Lil Durk. However, he will be arrested recently, charged with being a fugitive of justice after catching the case while on parole. Now there's a bunch of videos about this, so instead of just telling y'all that he was arrested, I'm going to break down why he may have been arrested, what may have led him up to that point, and the possibility of him this time spending a longer time behind bars. Now, one of the reasons this topic to me is important is because for the youth out there glorifying this street lifestyle, I don't know what it's going to take, and I don't know how much guys need to be an example to you on why you shouldn't be in the street, whether they lose their life or do football numbers in the jail cell. But if you keep following them, then you're going to learn the hard way. It's all cool until you're sitting in the cell for a long time, and them same friends you thought were your friends are not even around to help you in any way, shape, or form. Keep in mind, Boonie's situation is even worse because being that he's in his 30s and did a decade basically already in jail, you would think that he learned his lesson the first time. However, this isn't his first time getting in trouble after coming home, despite him having the opportunity of a lifetime that some guys dream of having, which is to be a rapper and to be friends to one of the biggest artists to come out of Chicago. Whole opportunity gone. Another thing this shows us is what I've been telling y'all about some of these rappers and their financial situations. Majority of these rappers, unless you're a certain artist, aren't making a lot of money off their music. You may see them in designer clothes, jewelry, cars, and all that good stuff, but reality is, it wasn't solely off their music. It's usually off of something illegal because instead of using their connections and money off music to do something positive, these guys often resort to funding their illegal lifestyle to make fast money by using a little bit that they make off the music in the first place. Basically just doing what they know. First thing a lot of these guys do when they first get their advance money is do what they know best and invest in drugs or some other form of illegal work. And how we know? Easy. They literally tell us. Right? Now speaking of tell us, remember in Durk's song, The Story 2.5, in the lyrics, he would say, quote, "I'd say F rap, shoot an N-word dead if they play with Steve. Gotta keep it low, shout out Boonie, but he play with keys. He do. Now I'm gonna leave that there. But in this case, we have OTF Boonie, aka Mr. You Know We Did It himself, who took it upon himself to allegedly partake in illegal drug trafficking using an Amtrak according to social media. Now we don't know if this is true, so take it with a grain of salt. But we do know that Boonie was in fact arrested recently, being a fugitive of justice. We're just unsure why. Now this all started when a blog post from Drill Music 00 would go viral, explaining that Boonie is a fugitive of justice. It would claim that he's arrested. The caption said, quote, "Hashtag Lil Durk affiliate, hashtag OTF Boonie was recently arrested for being a fugitive from justice." They didn't specify why, but after doing a lookup, we will find that he was in fact arrested Friday, June 27th, 2025 at 8:30 a.m. It shows a location, but then it also said that he was released on Saturday, June 28th, 2025 at 6 a.m. Now this is the part that everyone's confused about, because if he was in fact a fugitive, then why would he be released the next day after getting caught if that was the case? Now I'm not sure myself, but all I could do is give an alternative as to why I think he may have been released just a day after being arrested. Now 1. We know that Boonie was still on parole due to the case that he caught back in 2010 or 2011, where he was charged with attempted M after allegedly shooting a police officer. So maybe he caught the drug charge, never reported to court or told his parole officer, and they made him a fugitive of justice for running. When they finally arrested him, parole probably came to pick him up, and now he has to do more of that parole time due to him continuously violating and getting in trouble on parole. The new charge he got made him violate. He didn't want to get in trouble, so he never reported it to parole and went on the run. That's the only sensible thing I could think of as to why they would consider him a fugitive, and picked him up while on parole and was released the next day. Plus, if y'all know anything about parole, when you are incarcerated, they come early as hell to get you because they don't want you bailing out. They don't want no mistakes of them letting you bail out, none of that. They come very early, anywhere from 5 to 6 in the morning, pick you up, and then do whatever they need to do with you. Now, I also still think he's arrested because we haven't heard or seen anything of Boonie on social media for a minute, and I'm assuming that this is why. Now, a lot of people are saying that Boonie crashed out because you would think that anybody who was released off a 20+ year sentence for shooting a cop due to an appeal will feel pretty lucky. But instead, this guy got out, have one of the most famous rappers to come out of Chicago as his friend, could barely rap but still got put out there, and he still choose to mess all that up. Here's a quick timeline, matter of fact. In 2011 or 2010, he was charged with attempted M after shooting a police officer. He was given 20 or 21 years, I believe, but he didn't serve the whole term because he appealed it and was allowed to be released while on parole after completing 8 years. He returned to the streets in 2018. Now you would think he learned his lesson from that, but no, because while he was on parole, he would catch another case months later where he was accused of selling drugs to an undercover cop numerous times. Now, according to an article that explained everything that took place, it'll say, quote, "A Chicago parolee is accused of selling drugs to an undercover cop on 4 separate occasions. Antonio Jones, 29, appeared before Cook County Judge Donald Havis on felony charges of possession of a controlled substance and manufacture and delivery of CC near a public park. The prosecutor said Jones sold approximately 25 grams of drugs 4 different times to an undercover Evergreen Park police officer on January 11th, January 12th, January 15th, and January 16th. All of the alleged transactions happened within 1,000 feet of Euclid Field at 89th Street and Cadizi Avenue, court records indicated. After the last sale, police pulled Jones over in the 3100 block of West 88th Street, allegedly for failing to signal, driving on a suspended license, and no valid insurance. The prosecutor said the pre-recorded funds used by police in the controlled buys were found in Jones' pants pocket. Now, before we continue, let that be a lesson to y'all as well. When y'all think that them stops just be random and you happen to have something on you, it's not that it was random. Sometimes people either cooperated and told against you, or they was already investigating you and they used any little thing that you was doing to pull you over, and they quote unquote found what they were looking for, which the whole time they already knew. But anyway, for that arrest, he was only charged with possession and was only hit with 2 years, luckily, then came home in 2022. To be on parole and hit with numerous drug deals on an undercover cop while on parole is crazy. Now, he started doing good for himself by putting out music under the OTF umbrella, and it seemed like he was on an up and up within his career. But fast forward to recent, it said that he was arrested and labeled a fugitive of justice. Now, if you pay attention to the charge he has been hit with, reads Penal Code 725 ILCS 2250-13. When you look that up, it reads, quote, "Whenever any person within this state shall be charged on the oath of any credible person before any judge of this state with the commission of any crime in any other state, and except in cases arising under Section 6, with having fled from justice or with having been convicted of a crime in that state and having escaped from confinement or having broken the terms of his bail, probation, or parole, or whenever complaint shall have been made before any judge in this state, setting forth on the affidavit of any credible person in any other state that a crime has been committed in such other state, and that the accused has been charged in such state with the commission of the crime, and, except in cases arising under Section 6, has fled from justice or with having been convicted of a crime in that state and having escaped from confinement or having broken the terms of his bail, probation, or parole, and is believed to be in the state, the judge shall issue a warrant directed to any peace officer commanding him to apprehend the person named therein, wherever he may be found in this state, and to bring him before the same or any other judge or court, who or which may be available in or convenient of access to the place where the arrest may be made, to answer the charge or complaint in affidavit, and a certified copy of the sworn charge or complaint and affidavit upon which the warrant is issued shall be attached to the warrant. Now y'all bear with me because that was just one big run-on sentence, right? But judging from this, to sum it all up in layman's terms, it seems to me that maybe he caught a case somewhere out the state, and when he was supposed to report, I guess, to court and handle it, he never reported, so a warrant was issued for his arrest, which is why I state that it was an out-of-town warrant. Now, once again, we don't know what case he may have caught out of town, but it's looking like whatever it was enough for them to come look for him and pick him up. Now he's in their custody, and he will not only have to answer to the charge that he's being charged with, but he'll also have to deal with his parole time on the back, which is something that's totally separate. Now, like I told y'all earlier, Boonie Mo has one of the most craziest opportunities of a lifetime, and whether you can rap or not, because a lot of people do say they don't like how he rap or say he can't, whatever the case may be, as long as he's able to get in certain rooms, he can network to do other things. The problem is a lot of these guys, they only resort back to what they know. If y'all know anything about Boonie Mo, it is said that allegedly he's known for getting money, and I'm pretty sure it's not the legal way. So of course, as he probably got some money, the only thing he would do is what he know to do, which is to put money into the street and get the fast money. And like I said, I can't tell anybody what to do. I done did my dirt back in the days. However, I will always say, be smart in whatever it is you're gonna do. Everybody's grown, everybody's gonna make their own decisions. So to just say, hey, stay out the street, you shouldn't do that, it just is what it is. They're grown. But when you have somebody like Little Durk in your corner, and you're in these rooms that the average person isn't, it's a little more easier to make connections and make money the legal way, right? So, I don't know, man. Other than that, y'all jump in the comments, let me know what y'all think about all this. As far as Boonie Mo, he's gonna have to be careful because he has a crazy background where he was convicted of basically shooting a cop, right? It was an attempted M. Even though he got the appeal for it, you know, them cops still probably feel a way about that, the fact that he even got off. So, being that he got that over his head, then he was on parole, then he caught a drug charge when he got out, they probably feel like maybe they gotta sentence him a little more harsher because he haven't learned his lesson. And then they'll probably make an example out of him. I don't know. Y'all jump in the comments, let me know what y'all think about this. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'ma keep on dropping. And I'm out.